Hello everyone and welcome back. Jean Umberto here. In this video we are going to start practicing what we've just learned, and of course we are talking about the concept of loops, and for now we are focusing on the for loop. So let us go to our IDE, and you can turn to any text editor or IDE of your choice, and I will go back to NetBeans where I've been writing my code, and this is the last file where we created an empty array. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this file here, and by now you should be familiar to do this if you are using NetBeans. So I'll go ahead and create a new file under the site root folder here. I'll right click, new, and I'll say JavaScript, and here I'm just going to call this for loop. So I'll just say for loop. I'll go ahead and save. I will remove all the generated comments. What we are going to do is basically write the solution to the very same question or the very same request which we have been given in the previous video, and of course that was counting from 1 to 10, and of course here we are using the for loop. So what I'm going to do is basically just write for, and I'm simply going to say here this is going to be the body of the for loop. So remember what we said, that the for loop has three main statements. So it has three main portions or three main parts, and remember the first part was the initialization. So I'll just say var I is going to be initialized at 1. So we are going to start counting from 1. Semicolon, that basically is we're saying we are done with that particular part, that is statement. The next thing is to say what is the condition that we are working on here. So the condition here, which is the expression, is to say that I must be less than 11, because we want to count up to 10. So we're going to stop when the number is 10, because 11 is not less than 11, but 10 is. So we're going to stop at 10, and we're just going to say I plus plus. So every time we are going to increment 1. That is of course the increment part or the iteration part of the loop. So what we can just do here now is simply to print out the value of I, which will be of course 1, and then again another plus 1, which is going to be 2, and then again plus 1, that's going to be 3, up to 10. So we can just go ahead and see that. So I'll say console, and I'll say .log, and I'll say I, which is going to be that value incremented each time until our condition has been reached. So we can go ahead and run this, right click and run with Node.js, and there you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So that is basically how we answer to that particular request. So again, don't forget we started from 1, that is the initialization phase or the initialization part, and then the test was as long as the value of I is less than 11, of course we want to print it, and every time we want to increment or add 1 to whichever value that we have. Okay, and that's basically what we did. So you can go ahead and start counting from 0 if you want. Just change that, and you can just count to maybe 1,000. But now you won't get 1,000 included. You'll have 999. Of course, let me just run that. So now you have from 0. Let's just see that up here. It's going to be it's a long list. We started at 0, and then we go down to 999, which is the last number in our iteration, because we wanted to stop at whatever number which is less than 1,000. So if we wanted to include 1,000, okay, so we can actually simply say is less or equal to 1,000, and that's going to print out 1,000. So you can see that 1,000 is also included in our list right there. Okay, so now you can start thinking about how you can create a table of multiplication using a for loop if you want to take an exercise. Okay, and that is well possible. But for now, we're just going to keep it simple. We want to move on to the next chapter, where we're going to come back to the arrays and see how we can mix up our arrays with the for loop and print out everything from the loop. So what is important is really for you to remember how we started counting from 1 to a certain number, and here we we can actually do this, which would be the same thing as less than 11, because 10 is equal to 10 as well. So we can go ahead and do that again, and you can see that 10 is included in our result set. So if you want to use the decrement operator, you could actually say something like you want to start counting from 100, and you say as long as the value is greater than 0, and then you can actually change here and say minus minus. So here you're just going to start from 100 up to going down to 1. So we can run that again, and you can see we have 1 here, and right on top here we have 100. So we have reversed the process. Right, so thank you for watching. Let me see you in the next video, where we are going to mix the for loop with arrays.